With your breakfast, $6.
All right.
What are you John Laws doing? Using canvas straps instead of handcuffs now?
No, Mike. That's a straitjacket. I had to take a poor fellow to a special hospital today.
Straitjacket? How does it work?
Well, here. I'll show you. Now, you put your arms through there. Here. Try it on.
Oh, no, not me.
Here, you. How about you? Try it on.
Hey, what are you trying to do? No.
Here, try it on. That's right.
No, take it off. Now let me loose!
Hey, easy, friend. I didn't mean no harm.
You ain't putting me in no special hospital. Don't anybody lay a hand on me.
Cully, what have you done?
I ain't going to no special hospital.
Come on. We're getting out of here. And don't anybody try following us.
Well, it'd be a miracle if he lives.
Who's Shorty?
Stranger. First name of Cully. Travels with his brother. It sounds familiar.
Yeah, it does, don't it?
I knew it. Dave, Cully, Dre. Wanted by the Texas Rangers.
Must be pretty good with a gun if they wounded 2 Texas Rangers.
Look, while I'm talking to Dr. Goodfellow, you get loaded up for the trail, huh?
Right.
Wyatt? How's Marshal Pritchard?
Critical.
Is he conscious?
Off and on.
Did you, see this Cully Dre shoot him?
It was incredible. Happened just like that. In my opinion, this man, Cully Dre, is unbalanced.
You mean he's, insane?
Well, I couldn't diagnose without examining him, but from what I saw, I believe he's suffering from some kind of brain injury.
Well, how would you tell that?
The classic symptoms of brain injury are muscular weakness, foot-dragging gait, blinding headaches, and outbursts of hysterical behavior. Now, if Cully Dre fits this pattern, he's not responsible for his actions.
Yeah, but in the eyes of the law, he's considered a criminal.
Yes, and it's wrong. That's the tragedy with cases of this type. He probably doesn't even remember shooting Pritchard.
Can he be cured?
Well, possibly with surgery.
Doc. If I brought him to you, would you help him?
Oh, of course I would.
I'll bring him to you.
Quiet. Be careful. In his condition, Cully Dre is more dangerous than any gunslinger you've ever faced.
You ain't tricking me, John Law. I'm gonna fill you full of lead! Dave. We're safe now, just you and me. Here.
Now, wait a minute, Wyatt. You've got to listen to me. I'm not going to let the two of you go after the Dre brothers alone.
I do what Wyatt tells me, Mr. Mayor.
The minute I found out they were wanted by the Texas Rangers, I telegraphed their headquarters, and I just got their answer. Now, you listen to this. Use all force available to capture Cully and Dave Dre, dead or alive. If latter, hold for extradition. Here, look at it yourself, Wyatt. Now, posse can track them down in no time.
The last report had him heading for the Dragoon Mountains. You know what that region's like? They could spot a posse a mile away.
Cully Dre is no ordinary gunslinger, Wyatt. He's not a rational man. And that brother of his, he'll stop at nothing to help him.
Well, I am banking on just that. Before there's any more bloodshed, I want to try talking them out.
Talking them out? Well, they're not going to listen to you.
Dr. Goodfellow says that Cully Dre needs medical attention. He thinks he can cure him.
Well, maybe so. Maybe so, providing you have a chance to take him alive.
Look, unless I am forced to, I don't want to have to shoot down a man who's so sick that he doesn't know what he's doing. Here.
Wyatt, will you listen to me? It's too risky. Now cover yourself with a posse.
With a posse, the letter's going to start flying for sure. And what would that prove?
It needn't prove anything, Wyatt. It's your duty to uphold the laws, not make them.
Well, it's about time the law recognized what makes a man start shooting without reason. Now, if I can't talk the Dre brothers out, the posse's welcome to shoot him out.
Get down, Cully.
Why are we on the run this time? What happened?
You shot a U.S. Marshal at Charleston.
John Law? Why? Did I hurt him bad?
No time to find out. Come on, let's get in the cave.
No, Dave.
What's the matter now?
No, we'll get cornered in there. We must never get cornered.
Come on, we gotta get out of sight. Can you hear what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I don't see it too good. My eyes fog up on me.
We don't have to see, just listen. The law is after us. There'll be a posse. We gotta get inside the cave. It's safe there.
No, it's dark in there. I don't like the dark.
Now quit it. What kind of talk is that for a grown man?
It's darker all the time.
You need sleep. Here. Take a swig of this. It'll stop the headache. That's enough. That's enough. We gotta make it last.
Gotta make it last.
Trail's still fresh. Passed by here about an hour ago.
We'd like to find them before sundown.
Come on now, Dave, now let me go!
Can't you stay put?
It's too dark in there.
All right, all right. Quit your jabbering. You can sleep out here.
Don't leave me, Dave. Look, you're the only one I can trust. Huh? Is it always going to be like this, Dave?
I guess so.
No!
Hush up!
Thinking bad things. I'm all the time thinking bad things.
I think good things, Cully. Think of Mom and Pop and you and me sitting around the house after supper.
Mom?
Yeah, that's right, Mom. Remember how she used to sing songs to you? Remember?
I doubled back.
Hi! Horse tracks lead off here.
Yeah, that's cave country. Should have figured that's where they'd be headed.
What'd you do that for?
I heard something.
You were dreaming.
Pump them up yonder. Still think we can talk them out?
We can try.
They'll pick us off like pigeons.
Hey, look. I told you I heard somebody.
Dave Dre, I want to talk to you.
Let's see you drop your guns first.
Fair enough.
No, Wyatt.
Do as he says.
Hold it. That's far enough. Where's your posse hiding?
No posse.
They're John Laws, Dave. Don't trust them.
I said hold it. All right, come up slow.
I'm Marshal Wyatt Earp, Tombstone. This is my deputy, Mr. Gibbs.
That's far enough. I've heard of you in Texas, Earp.
I'm seeing double, Dave. How many John Laws are there?
2.
Oh, I'm dizzy. My head hurts.
That's the way Dr. Goodfellow said it would be.
Who's Dr. Goodfellow?
He saw the shooting in Charleston, said it didn't make any sense.
Cully drinks too much.
According to Dr. Goodfellow, that's not all that's wrong with him.
Yeah?
Has he ever been hurt? Hit over the head with a gun barrel, creased by a bullet, maybe?
Why would a John Law be asking questions like that?
Because he's trying to help you.
Oh! Cully, that's all right. Just take it easy. He's got a leg cramp from riding so far.
How'd he get that scar on his head?
I ain't saying.
Dave, your brother's sick. Unless he has a doctor's care, he's going to get worse.
You're making this up.
Dr. Goodfellow thinks that he can cure Cully. Give him a chance and come back with us.
To Tombstone? You think I'm fool enough to fall for a trick like that?
You'll be a bigger fool trying to take care of your brother by yourself.
I'll manage.
No, you won't be able to control him. And the longer you wait, the worse it's going to get.
No! It's been like this ever since we left Texas. Up until then, the law had no cause to bother with us. We were working, saving money, planning to get our own spread.
You want to tell me how he got that scar?
A bullet from one of the Rangers creased him.
You shot up a town in Texas, didn't you?
You know how cowboys are on payday, out for a good time. Cully was just hurrahing up and down the main street, shooting in the air. He didn't mean no harm. Next thing I knew, the Rangers was slinging lead. When I saw Cully start bleeding, we shot our way out, and we've been running ever since.
And you're going to keep right on running until it's too late. Until Cully kills 3, 4, 5 men. Is that the way you want it to end?
Suppose that marshal he shot don't pull through. No matter what the doctor says, they'll have Cully swinging at the end of a rope.
The law means justice. And I say no court can punish a man for a crime he committed when he was out of his head.
Davy. Davy.
All right, Herb. Bring the doctor back with you. Alone.
You'd be better off in Tombstone.
It's my way or nothing.
You give me your word you'll be here when we get back?
We'll wait till sunup.
Agreed. You water the horses. I'll go talk to Dr. Goodfellow.
All right.
I'm sorry, Wyatt. I couldn't go with you even if I wanted to. Marshal Pritchard's still not out of danger. Needs a lung tap every hour. Can't you persuade Dave to bring his brother here?
Not a chance. If I'm not back there by sunup, they'll be long gone.
Well, Plum will insist you take a posse with you this time.
Yeah, and that'll mean gunplay.
Well, you have no choice. The town's been on edge all day. If you don't bring the drays back, the posse will. Well, what are you going to do?
I don't know.
Wyatt, I've defended you a dozen times when people thought you'd gone soft on criminals, but I cannot defend you this time.
I'm real sorry.
Now, you're not sorry. You won't tell me where the Dre brothers are hiding, and you went out there and made an unauthorized deal with them, and it's your duty to bring them in.
All right, I'll arrest him. But you keep that posse out of it.
I'm not going to make you any promises, Wyatt. I got another telegram from the Texas Rangers, and they're sending a man here. The safety committee is ready to ride.
Yeah, I know. I saw him milling around outside.
You still think you can bring the Dre brothers in, huh?
No, not with a posse. It's simple enough to start shooting, but that isn't going to help the cause for justice. Now, you do believe in justice, don't you?
Now, you know I do.
All right, then. You send the vigilantes on home, and you let me handle the Dre brothers alone.
Wyatt, you're making a mistake. Bad mistake.
Mr. Gibbs?
Stage driver told me that he saw Marshal Earp and Deputy Gibbs riding out of the west side of the Dragoons just about sundown. I think the men we want are holed up out there. Well, we'll give them a half-hour start this time, and we'll trail them. All right, men, see to your horses.
I got an awful headache, Dave. Wyatt Earp promised to bring you a doctor to give you some help.
I don't know about those doctors. They may put me in one of them jackets.
We wait till sunup. If Earp don't show, we ride.
Let's ride right away.
No, I gave my word.
But what if he brings a posse? Look, don't let him take me away, Davy. Don't let him take me.
No, I won't. Why don't you go back in and get some more rest?
Dave Dre! That you, Earp?
Yes. Leave your guns like you've done before.
You heard it, Mr. Gibbs.
I still don't like it.
Where's the doctor?
He couldn't come. He's trying to keep Marshal Pritchard alive.
Who's Pritchard?
Man you shot in Charleston.
Your brother knows. Dr. Goodfellow, try and help Cully if you come back to Tombstone.
That wasn't the deal. We're riding. Cully, fetch the horses.
You'll never make it, Dave.
We'll make it.
Maybe you, but not Cully. He'll die from his sickness.
I won't let him die. He's my brother.
Dave, come back to Tombstone. Let Dr. Goodfellow try and help him. If he proves he's sick, he'll back me up in court.
What about me?
You'll have to go to jail to save your brother's life.
Hey, Dave!
You lied to me.
I didn't order that posse.
Come on, let's get out of here.
The law will find you no matter where you go. Give yourself up, Dave.
Don't listen to him. It's a trick. They're gonna kill you and put me away for the rest of my life.
It's your last chance to help your brother.
The marshal's right, Cully.
No, Dave. They're not gonna get you. And they're not gonna get me either.
What? No, Cully! Dave!
I didn't mean it. Mom? Dave's hurt. He's hurt bad.
Hold your fire! Take care of him. I'll get close. Cully.
Cully?
taking Dave to a doctor.
You want to help him, don't you?
What is it, Doc?
It's a brain abscess under the skull where that bullet creased him. I'll have to operate. Better get ready to help.
Yes.
Marshal? If I know my brother, he's scared. Mighty scared. And when he gets that way, he needs me awful bad.
Sure.
Thank you.
Go on, Dr. Goodfellow.
And because of Cully Dre's brain injury, he was not responsible for his actions at the time that he shot Marshal Pritchard. In addition to my own testimony, Marshal Pritchard has given me a signed statement in Cully Dre's behalf. He feels that he himself was responsible for what happened. He terrified Cully when he put that straitjacket on him. If he hadn't, there'd have been no shooting.
Thank you, Dr. Goodfellow. The court recognizes the marshal's request that the defendant not be prosecuted. Dave and Cully Dre will approach the stand, please. You both realize the seriousness of the charges against you. Under ordinary circumstances, you would have been shot down by a posse, or captured, tried, and, on the face of the evidence, been convicted of assault. But due to Marshal Earp's belief and dedication to the true meaning of justice and his plea on your behalf, the court feels duty-bound to reevaluate the law. It is the court's opinion that the law has no right to prosecute a man who mentally is not responsible for his actions. Accordingly, I hereby exonerate Mr. Cully Dre of the charges against him. A decision, I might add, that is unprecedented in Arizona territory. However, the incident that precipitated this unfortunate series of events, the hurrahing of a town in Texas, resulted in the wounding of 2 Rangers. Now, this is still on both your records. Therefore, I remand you to the custody of the Texas Rangers, with my recommendation for leniency. This court is adjourned.
Marshal? Thank you.
Don't thank me. Thank the law.
See what I told you, Cully? He kept his word, didn't he?
I reckon I didn't understand much before, mister, but I do now. Thank you, sir, for keeping your word.
You take good care of him, Ranger.
Doc, good.
Who is it?
Poor Burke Simpson, rest his soul. There was no need to bother you, Marshal. My friend died of natural causes.
What natural causes?
Too much liquor and a weak heart, I'm afraid.
Probably.
Over here.
Acute alcoholism with congestive heart failure. Should give you something to think about, Holliday.
Yeah.
I feel sorry for his daughter.
The girl will take it hard. What with her approaching marriage and all.
Mr. Mackey, will you go on over to the jail? Tell Mr. Gibbs to find Miss Leon Simpson. She'll have to take over things.
Yes, sir.
Doc, come here. Take a look at his neck. What do you make of it?
You mean that puncture?
Looks like a needle mark, doesn't it?
Sure does.
Well, what does that mean?
That Mackey's theory was wrong. He didn't die of drink. He was murdered.
To catch this wily criminal before he himself became a victim.
that old man Simpson was poisoned?
If you want to poison a man, you don't have to use a needle.
Then what was the needle for?
He put air into an artery or a vein with it. That's what Dr. Goodfellow says.
What would that do?
Well, the victim was dead in about 1 minute.
Doctor, your postmortem showing it?
Yes. My theory was right. The air bubble caused a block in circulation and death.
I wonder why the murderer chose such a complicated way.
To fool Wyatt into thinking that death was a natural one?
Well, whoever it was went to an awful lot of trouble for nothing. He's already made his first mistake. He'll make another.
That's right. They generally do.
Do you have anything to go on, Wyatt?
Just that Mr. Simpson didn't care for the young man that was courting his daughter.
Well, it's a lead for what it's worth.
Miss Simpson, I'm sorry about your father.
We'll do everything we can to help.
Thank you.
You feel well enough to answer a few questions?
Yes, sir.
Won't you sit down? I understand you're engaged to Mr. Hal Babcock, the foreman of the Bonanza mine. Did your father like him?
No. But Hal understood. Papa wasn't himself. He was drinking a lot, you know.
Did your father ever threaten him?
Please, Marshal. I can't talk anymore now.
All right. Come on, I'll have Mr. Gibbs take you.
I don't understand this, Marshal. You act like old man Simpson was murdered.
He was.
And you think I killed him?
Mr. Babcock, we're investigating his death. Now, let's take a look inside, shall we?
Well, if you'll tell me what you're looking for, I'll help you find it. I don't own a gun. There's a knife in that drawer. There's an axe over here. There's some rope outside.
Doc.
Clean with alcohol.
Where'd you get it?
I never saw that thing before.
And how did it get in your trunk?
Well, I don't know. It's not mine. Wait a minute. Has that got something to do with Mr. Simpson's death?
Where were you last night, Mr. Babcock?
I don't have to tell you that.
I said, where were you?
I don't have to tell you anything, and I won't.
All right, then you're under arrest. You know, Doc, I think we got the wrong man. Hal Babcock couldn't find an artery with a hard rock drill.
You're right, Deacon. Now tell me why he doesn't give himself an alibi.
I think we better go ask Miss Leone some more questions.
Let me do the asking. I'm not as chivalrous as you are. Miss Leone, do you know you have quite a reputation in Tombstone?
I do?
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean?
In the last year, you've had more dates and men calling on you than any 3 women in the county.
I suppose I have.
Oh, there are quite a few theories about your popularity. Perhaps you have one of your own?
What are you trying to say, Dr. Holliday?
That people gossip about you.
You mean they think I'm bad?
Are they wrong?
They most certainly are, and so are you. Now, will you please get out of my house?
I'm sorry, Miss Lane. I'm sure the doc didn't mean any offense.
Well, I'm sure he did. I have nothing more to say, Marshal.
That isn't going to help Babcock much.
Help him?
Mr. Babcock isn't being too cooperative. He won't tell us where he was last night.
Last night? You mean you think he killed my father?
Can you tell us where he was?
He was with me.
Well, now, why didn't he tell us that?
I don't know.
Miss Leon, who were the other men before you became engaged?
Ease off, Doc. Miss Leon, I think you need some rest. You've been under quite a strain. We'll leave you now.
Thank you.
Goodbye. Doc? Mr. Gibbs, bring Mr. Babcock out.
Yes, sir.
Doc, you find out who bought this hypodermic. Check with Dr. Goodfellow and then the drugstore.
What about that girl?
You stay away from her. I'll handle it my own way. Mr. Babcock, I'm not going to hold you any longer, but I hope that you'll answer me one question before you go.
Well, that depends on what it is.
I want to know the names of the other men who courted Miss Leon Simpson.
I can't answer that, Marshal.
Why not?
Well, let's say I have plans.
What kind of plans?
I might even solve the murder for you.
Oh?
Somebody put that hypodermic needle in my trunk, figuring you'd find it and arrest me.
You realize, don't you, that whoever killed Mr. Simpson is very dangerous?
I'll be real careful.
Mr. Babcock, at least you've been warned.
Thank you.
Follow him.
Well, he's a real sure-enough smart aleck. He's going to solve the murder for you.
His first logical move would be to go after the man he thinks framed him.
Going to get himself killed, too. He ain't even got a gun.
He can buy one. You keep after him.
About old man Simpson. I understand he got some bad liquor.
Yeah, they didn't get it in here.
Gibbons, I want you. Turn around. I said turn around.
See that?
But he drove me first.
Shoulder wound, wide. It ain't bad.
What happened?
Well, it's like the boy says. You drawn first.
Get him over to Dr. Goodfellow.
Lord save us, it's Tom Gibbons. Is it mortal?
Nope, just a shoulder wound.
Well, I got a spring wagon outside. We'll haul him in that.
Good idea, Mackie.
Now, easy. Easy, Doc.
Mr. Babcock, you bought this gun with the intention of killing Mr. Gibbons. You came here for that purpose. Why?
Marshal, Gibbons killed Mr. Simpson. And he tried to frame me for it.
Why would he do that?
Well, you'll have to ask Leon. She'll have to tell you that.
All right. I'll talk to her again. In the meantime, you stay close.
Marshal?
What about Gibbons?
It's my business, not yours.
Are you sure Hal's all right?
Not a scratch on him. But he may be prosecuted for assault.
Because he shot Mr. Gibbons? Well, that's unfair.
Why?
He was jealous of Hal. Mr. Gibbons used to call on me until my father put a stop to it.
Now, why didn't you tell me that earlier today?
Didn't think it mattered.
Your father ever threatened Mr. Gibbons?
When Papa had too much to drink, he threatened everybody who even came near me. Papa didn't trust people. He was just terrible to everyone.
Terrible?
Yes, he'd shout and yell, and we'd just chase them all away. I hated him for it.
Why was he so violent about it?
I don't know. I suppose it's because he was afraid I'd get married. Since Mama died, he never wanted to be alone. He didn't want me to leave home.
I see.
I talked to Mr. Mackey about it.
Stable man?
Papa liked him. He tried to make him understand, but it just didn't work. Mr. Mackey was my only friend for a long time.
What about your fiancé, Hal Babcock? Did your father threaten him, too?
Hal was the only one Papa couldn't run off. He used to come right up to the house. Papa didn't like that either. Told Hal straight out he'd kill him.
Thank you.
Marshal, are you going to arrest Hal?
No. Hi, Doc.
What? I heard young Babcock shot Tom Gibbons.
He thinks Gibbons murdered Leon's father and tried to put the blame on him.
Plausible.
But you don't believe it either.
There was bad blood between Gibbons and Babcock. Dr. Goodfella isn't missing a syringe, and the druggist hasn't sold one lately.
Neither of them recognize this one?
They don't keep records, Wyatt.
Now, let's go on over and talk to Mr. Gibbons. Hello, Doc.
What?
Where's Mr. Gibbons?
In the hospital room.
Can we see him?
Well, he's pretty weak. He's lost a lot of blood, but I don't see why not. Don't stay too long.
Tom? Tom. Tom, wake up.
Dr. Goodfellow. Dr. Goodfellow.
He's dead. Dead?
Look.
It's the same technique, Wyatt.
That's what I thought. I want a post-mortem.
I could use your help.
Well?
It was murder.
Definitely. No question at all.
We're dealing with a monster.
How many people were here when Mr. Gibbs brought him in?
Oh, a dozen, maybe 15. I didn't count them.
But the outside door and back was open.
Well, then it could be anybody.
I still think that girl knows more than she's told you.
You suspect Leon?
I grant you the needlework isn't feminine, Doctor. But from what I found out, Leon had plenty of trouble with her father and some with Mr. Gibbons.
Well, we know that Simpson didn't like Gibbons. We know that Mr. Babcock didn't like either one of them. Maybe we're being too logical. Maybe our murder isn't at all logical.
Well, logical or not, he might go right on killing.
I think you're right. Now, Miss Leon, I want the name of every man who ever called on you.
I thought you were my friend.
Look, your father is dead, and now Mr. Gibbons is dead. Hal could be next, and then you, and then one of those other men.
Or one of us, why?
Mr. Mackey.
I heard you was here. Now, what's happening here?
Mr. Mackey, they want to know the names of everyone who came to see me.
Now, Leon. Marshal Earp's just doing what we pay him to do.
I can't help that. There's enough gossip already. And Hal won't like it either. He'll get jealous.
Now, what's he got to be jealous about? Heh. He knew plenty of girls before he met you.
I don't intend to make the names public.
Now, you've done nothing disgraceful. Now, you just step right up. You tell Marshal Earp whatever he wants to know.
Right, I'll write the names down.
Good girl.
Here's pencil and paper. Hey, by the way, Mr. Mackey, you're, sort of a horse doctor, aren't you?
Well, there's considerable difference of opinion on that. Of course, I can drench a horse or fix a saddle sore, but...
Did you ever use a hypodermic needle?
Me? What for?
Mr. Simpson died in your stable last night, and today you took Mr. Gibbons over to Dr. Goodfellow's in your wagon.
And you were still there when I left to find Wyatt.
You seem awfully friendly with everybody.
Well, Burke Simpson and Tom Gibbons were friends of mine. What is this, anyway? You're joshing me, huh, Marshal?
No. You had the opportunity.
To kill two good friends of mine. Now, what would I want to do that for?
Nobody said you done it.
Well, I don't even know how they died. Doc here said something about a hyposyringe.
Not a syringe. I said needle.
Well, it's the same thing, ain't it? Did Burke and Tom die of poisoning, you think?
Here are the names.
Thank you.
Is even Mr. Mackey suspected?
Well, it kind of looks that way, child. Now, if you're aiming to put me under arrest, Marshal, I would appreciate it if you'd give me time to do my night feeding and bedding down first.
Marshal Earp, this is ridiculous. First Hal and now Mr. Mackey.
Why is it ridiculous?
Mr. Mackey was the only friend Papa had or even trusted. He was Papa's friend.
No, don't trial the law, darling. All I'm asking is a chance to feed my horses and hire a relief man.
I won't keep you, Mr. Mackey.
Now, you're being real sensible, Marshal. Come along, Leon. I'll take you home.
I'm trusting you with that list, Marshal.
Well, sir, it's a mighty fidgeting puzzle.
What? It could have been Mackey.
Yeah, he made one slip. Said syringe instead of needle. That means he knows something about hypodermics.
And it was too innocent the way he asked about that poison.
But why would he want to kill them fellers? Looks more to me like Babcock done it.
There's that girl, too, Gibbs.
Yeah, that's the point. Well, I'm going to check out this list. Maybe one of them will give me a motive.
We better go with you, Wyatt.
No. She gave me this in confidence. Mr. Gibbs, you go on patrol. Doc, you go on back to the hotel.
Gibbs, we got a big job to do. You go over to Simpson's place. And I'll go over to Mackey's stable.
Doc, we're gambling on Wyatt's life.
Wrong. Wyatt gambled on his own life when he went out that door.
Mr. Jack Gray?
That's right. Did I do something wrong, Marshal?
I'm trying to get some information on Mr. Mackey, the stableman.
Oh?
When you and Miss Leon were seeing each other, did anything happen that involved Mr. Mackey?
Yes, it did. He talked Leon's father out of shooting at me.
Mr. Mackey and Mr. Simpson were friends?
Oh, well, sure. They get drunk together almost every night.
How about Mr. Mackey and Mr. Gibbons?
They're very good friends, as far as I know, Marshal. Mr. Mackey's friends with everybody. Say, you don't think he had anything to do with Mr. Simpson and Gibbons being killed?
Well, I've probably done Mr. Mackey an injustice. I'll go see him. Thank you.
Mr. Mackey?
Mr. Mackey?
Just take it easy and keep your mouth shut. That's right. Drop it on the floor. Take your finger off the trigger. That's right. Just easy. That's right. Now the other one. Where I can see, if you don't mind. Easy now. That's right. Glad you came alone. I got to do this, Marshal. I can't let you arrest me. He was getting too smart. You figured it was me that killed Burke, didn't you? Well, you're right, I did. But Leon's precious Hal is going to hang for it, and Gibbons. And now they'll think he killed you. You're not to be trusted, Marshal. Like I couldn't trust Burke at all. He should have been glad I wanted to marry his daughter. I told him I loved her dear. But he wouldn't listen. Wouldn't listen at all, even though we was friends. He said he'd kill me just the same. But he didn't, did he? Now hold still.
You shouldn't have killed him.
Nonsense. I did him a favor. He would have resented being hanged.
I know it may sound foolish to you, but John really does want to quit, Mr. Clanton. He's planning to move to California.
You think you can make a good man out of a killer, an honest man out of a thief?
If he loves me enough, I can. And I'll tell you something else. John hasn't had a drink since we met.
Well, habits are one thing, Miss Mary. But temper in a gunfighter, especially Ringo, that's a horse of a different color.
I don't care what people say. A man can change if he meets the right girl. I don't necessarily say it has to be me. Any nice girl who really loves him. You think I'm a romantic fool, don't you?
No, I don't. I think you make a good, sensible Irish stew. Where's Ringo now?
At his ranch near Galeyville. Why?
No, it's not important.
But it is important. It sounds like you're planning to make trouble for John and me.
No, I wouldn't do that. I'm hoping for a miracle, too.
You mean you won't interfere?
Ringo is one of Clanton's top guns. Now, if he moves to California, it'll make me very happy. Make my job easier. Thank you for the lunch, Miss Mary.
Thank you, Mr. Earp.
Howdy, Ringo. You passed a law against washing clothes, Earp?
No? Not yet.
I'm busy.
What I have to say won't take much time.
Spill it.
I know about you and Mary.
You ride all the way down here just to tell me that?
You in love with her?
It's none of your business.
Well, let's put it another way. You washing clothes or trying to get your hands clean?
Pick a fight with somebody else, sir.
No fight for me, but I don't think her brother is going to like it so much.
I'll talk him out of it.
Ringo, you must be in love. You aiming to marry?
Any law against it?
No.
Listen, Earp. Mary's the finest girl I ever met in my life. I can't expect her to lead this kind of life. So I told old man Clanton to do whatever he wanted to. Me, I'm pulling out.
With Mary?
If she'll take the chance.
All right. I wish you both luck. I always figured you were too smart to stay a gunfighter, Ringo. With Mary's help, there's a chance you may make it.
I don't get it. You and I have been hating each other for a long time, Earp.
I don't hate you, Ringo.
What do you mean?
Oh, sure, you built the bottle. You're too quick with your guns. But maybe now you'll learn to control your temper. You make friends with Mary's brother. Try to convince him you're on the level. That shouldn't be too hard. You convinced me.
It's all over town that my sister is seeing Johnny Ringo.
Will you put that gun... Oh, now, look, Claude, Johnny will be here in just a few minutes, and you can see for yourself. You don't have to protect me from him. Well, for heaven's sakes, he hasn't done anything wrong.
Well, he won't get the chance, Mary. He's no good. A Clanton gunslinger, a rustler, a thief, and a killer.
Maybe he used to be, Claude, but he's changed.
Gunslingers don't change, Mary. Now, you stay away from him, do you hear? I'm not going to let you ruin your life.
It's my life.
Mary, what's happened to you? My sister and Johnny Ringo. Now, is that something for a brother to be real proud of?
Claude, are you going to let me have it?
No. When he shows up, I'm going to kill him.
Now, you listen to me. If you don't give me that gun, I'll go and get Marshal Earp.
Sure. You do that, Mary. You tell the marshal. I'll wait for Johnny Ringo.
My brother's got a gun. He's going to kill Johnny.
Where is he?
He's in my place. Oh, please, Marshal, he won't listen to me.
What's wrong, Claude? What's the gun for?
Keep away from my sister.
I hope to marry her. She'll have me. Look, I want to be friends with you, Claude. You don't need a gun.
Keep away from Mary or I'll kill you. Say it, Ringo. Say it!
All right, if that's the way you want it.
I'll put a bullet in you just to teach you a lesson.
Give me that.
Claude? Johnny, what happened?
I didn't hurt him.
We heard 2 shots. You fired him?
Yes.
He's a liar.
You're not wearing your guns, Ringo. Where'd you get this?
That's Claude's gun.
You shot at Ringo?
Yes, sir.
Why not drop it, Earp?
There's a law against shooting at people, Johnny. I'll have to book you, Mr. Turner.
I'll go bail for him, Earp.
Tomorrow. Come on.
Now, don't worry, Mary. The marshal will release him in the morning.
So ashamed for him, Johnny. You were so generous and kind, and
Now, your brother's just a boy. You love me.
Yes, I love you.
Then I think we ought to get married right away. I don't trust my luck. I'm scared.
Scared?
Yes. I'm scared of myself. What happens when a gun's in my hand. It becomes alive. I don't control it, it controls me.
But, Johnny, you promised me you wouldn't wear a gun.
And I'll keep my promise. But remember, my name's Ringo. You must know what it means. Even your own brother wanted to shoot me on sight.
All right, then, Johnny, we'll change the name. We'll forget this time. We'll forget everything. Oh, we can be happy, you'll see. Now, don't brood about it. The past is over and done with. And if you're worried about Claude, don't be. I can make him understand. I know I can.
All right, Mary. I know what I'd be in for when I fell in love with you. I want to be just like you want me to be. And I promise you I'll try. Oh. But we'll have to fight for what we want. The two of us.
Fight for it.
You think old man Clanton will just let me go with his blessing? If we have a minister say the words and start for California? It won't be that simple.
Johnny, it won't be that simple. All right, Johnny, we'll fight for what we want. But please, not with guns.
What's your hurry, Ike?
Where's Papa?
Inside, eating breakfast.
All right, tie him up. Papa? Papa, Ringo just had a run-in with Claude Turner.
Well, now, ain't that too bad? Killing Mary's own brother. Ooh, that ought to bust it up.
Oh, well, he ain't dead, Papa.
You said Ringo, didn't you?
Yeah, I couldn't believe it myself, but it's true. Claude took a shot at Johnny Ringo, and then Johnny didn't do a thing to him. And Herb took Claude, and he put him in jail. Johnny hung around till midnight with that gal, and then he got on his horse and rode back to Galeyville. Now, I'm telling you, Papa, he's going to hitch up with that gal.
Could be love. Could be.
Well, that ain't all, Papa. Johnny's going to sell out his whole spread, and everybody's telling it around that then he's going to move off to California.
Well, he ain't. I need Ringo. He's one of them's got brains in his head.
Well, I told Brocious and the McLowrys over to Charleston like you told me to, but they're keeping their hands off of it. They're all scared of Johnny Ringo.
Well, ain't you?
Well, in a gunfight, sure, but... Well, Papa, there's more than one way to skin a cat.
Oh, it is, huh?
Yeah, all the way when I was riding down here, I thought that if we could...
What ways, Ike?
Well, Papa, you could buy him off. Well, now, I know it'd take a lot of money, but, Papa, you could do it.
Joseph Isaac Clanton. You can buy a man off of holding up somebody or killing somebody, but you can't buy a man off of loving somebody.
No, I guess you can't. But ain't it worth trying?
Hush up. I'm a-studying this. Mary Turner and her brother Claude. Ike.
Oh, yes, Papa?
Were they real fond of each other?
Oh, well, sure they are. Dang fool took a shot at Johnny, didn't he?
Yeah. Yeah, that's it. I never had a man work for me as mean as Johnny Ringo is, and he gets killing mad. You go find me 4 or 5 saddle tramps. Now, I want tough boys, and I want boys ain't never worked for me before.
Yeah, all right, Papa. Well, Papa, what are you going to do?
I'm going to cool me down romance.
Yeah, Papa.
I'm sorry, sis.
How much is the bond, Marshal?
No bond, I'm turning him loose. He's a lot more sensible this morning.
Will you give Johnny a chance, Claude, please?
I want you to be happy, Mary, that's all.
I know you do. Well, I guess I better tell you about this now. Johnny's asked me to marry him, and I've said yes. If you have any idea of going after him again, you just better keep him locked up, Marshal.
Well, Mr. Turner?
I guess I was wrong. Maybe Ringo has changed.
Oh, he has, Claude. He has. He wants to be your friend. Why, he's going by the mine office at noon to try to talk to you again.
Mr. Turner, passing judgment on another man's character is something I've learned to leave up to the good Lord. Wouldn't hurt you to do the same.
You're right.
Well, it's kind of late. I better get over to the mine. I'll see you tonight, Mary.
All right.
Marshal.
Thank you, Marshal.
Not at all. When's the wedding?
Tomorrow. Will you come?
I'll be there.
Bye.
Which one's Turner? We'll ask politely. You wait here, Gus and me will take him. We've got a message for Claude Turner.
Oh, for me?
Yeah, on your feet.
Hey,
You just keep quiet. Who are you? What do you want with me?
We'll explain later, Sonny.
Why would someone throw this in here?
Well, he must have disappeared into the alley. I don't see him.
This is for you.
If you want to see your brother alive, you better take the first stage for Colorado. Oh, this must be some sort of a joke.
Maybe, but you'd better get it straight to Marshal Earp.
Oh, but I...
I just don't know what happened. It happened so fast. We were sitting over there and we were having our lunch just like we always do. Then these four men, they come up and they grabbed him and they just took off. I don't know why they'd want Claude Turner. He didn't have a cent that I know of. They just grabbed him and they put him on the horse and they...
What's that about Claude Turner?
He got kidnapped, Mr. Ringo.
Kidnapped?
4 men grabbed him. We was eating right over there. These 2 men came out of the brush with .45s and they dragged him over to the others. They put him on a horse and galloped off.
What did they look like?
Gunslingers.
How long ago?
Oh, about 40 minutes. We sent for Marshal Earp.
If they took him from the contention mine, they probably headed for the mountains. There's only one good trail into the Lazy Creek area.
Mr. Earp, will you call in your deputies? Get a posse, do something!
Look, do you want your brother alive? Well, the surest way of getting him hurt is to rush those fellows with the posse. Now, it's a one-man job, and I'll be going out there in a few minutes.
Well, why are you waiting even minutes?
Because old man Clanton is in town.
He's not gonna help. I'm gonna go get John. He'll do something.
No. You keep Ringo away from this. He might lose his temper and try to blast him out. Is that what you want?
He won't go back to his guns. He promised me.
You sent for Ringo?
No, why?
Well, I heard when he left Contention Mine, trailed them saddle tramps, he was killing mad.
I suppose you set this up.
Being a John Law, you'd have to think that. I got my rig outside and a fair notion where them boys went to. If we was to move quick, we might head Ringo off.
That's our only chance.
Well, why do you want to stop John? He'll get through to Claude and save him.
Judas Priest, girl, Ringo's mad. He'll massacre them boys and your brother, too. Once he gets started shooting, he don't care who he killed.
Better come along. You can handle Ringo. No time to lose.
Now, what's the matter with you?
We ain't far enough from Tombstone to suit me.
Oh, there must be a dozen gullies just like this around here. Herbert have to search them all. Come on, Joe, deal and act like you're brave.
Cover your guns. It's Ringo! I said draw! 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 Stop it, Ringo!
He killed him. He killed all of them.
What's the matter with you? What did you do it for? Why? Kill all of them. Aren't you going to stop him?
You won't be hard to find.
You're all right. Where's Johnny? Johnny? Johnny! Johnny! Did Johnny kill all those men?
He didn't have to kill him.
Claude, please.
Well, I knowed Ringo was due to bust loose way past due. They did, all right.
Ringo will have a chance to defend what he did in court. These were kidnappers, Claude. You should realize that 4 against 1 are pretty high odds in a gunfight. He faced those odds for you.
He could have captured him.
Yeah, maybe. Another man might have handled it a different way. But Ringo did the only thing he knew. He's a gunfighter, Mary. Mr. Clanton will use your wagon to take her home. You look after her. She'll forget all of this someday.
Thanks, Marshal.
Right, Charlie?
Go.
Too bad, Ringo. I was hoping you'd make it.
Yeah. I gotta get some sleep.
Yeah, I guess that's the answer. You can still sleep. Come on, let's go.
Tom, wake up. This is the Marshal. He just wants to ask you a few questions. This is my husband, Mr. Whiting.
Howdy, Mr. Roberts.
Roberts?
That's right.
No, Bento.
Just throw it down there. Among the desperate men with whom Wyatt Earp had to deal as Marshal of Tombstone, Arizona, some of the most dangerous were professional bank robbers.
In 1881, bank robbery attracted Western criminals who ranked themselves with Quantrell, the James Boys, and the Youngers. And a few of them were just as shrewd and deadly as Cole Younger or Jesse James.
How's Ben feeling, Sadie?
His leg's worse. He wants to talk to you.
Yes, ma'am. Sadie says your leg don't feel so good. Want me to ride into Tombstone and fetch a doctor?
No. Sadie and I are going into town alone.
All right, Ben, if that's the way you want it, but you taking a big risk?
Is that any concern of yours?
Yeah, in a way it is.
What way?
You're the last of the Roberts gang. Now, ever since we bumped into you, we've been hoping that as soon as your leg got well, you'd throw in with us. Well, with you to do the brain work, we could take a bank every week. These Arizona banks ain't never had a real rousting.
You're a fool. I wouldn't touch you or any of your boys on a bank job.
Now, look, Ben.
Shut up. Give them a couple of $100 for services rendered. I don't want any of you in Tombstone. Head north and go back to robbing stages.
All right, Ben. All right, anything you say.
Pay him. And that's the end of it. So long.
Yes, sir.
Oh, yeah, let me help you.
Where's the dress-up clothes?
In the wagon.
Good. We can change on the way into town.
You feel bad?
I don't ride in a wagon when I feel good. Besides, I'd like to see you in skirts for a change anyway.
All right, you sit down and I'll hitch up the rig.
Now, that's the thanks we get from big-headed Ben Roberts.
I'd sure like to hit one of those banks in Tombstone. Open up Mr. Roberts' eyes a little.
Maybe we will.
See me?
Yes, I do. Did you ever hear the name Ben Roberts?
Ben Roberts? Sure. He's a bank robber, one in Missouri. Why?
He's a patient of mine.
He's what?
Brought to me by his lady friend. Mr. and Mrs. Tom Whiting, they call themselves. They're dressed like city people.
Well, how do you know it's him? Do you know him?
No, but someone pointed him out to me a couple of years ago. You don't forget a man like Ben Roberts.
Oh, you sure know. So he's here in Tombstone, huh?
Got a handsome wife, about 25, I'd say. Blonde.
Well, why'd he come to see you?
Gunshot wound in the left leg. Some amateur pulled the bullet out, but he missed the bone splinters.
That's just dandy. Roberts is a bank robber, and we got 2 banks. Did he say where he was staying?
American Hotel. I gave him strict orders to go to bed and stay there. I gave him a little something to make him sleepy, just to be sure.
Thanks. He's not wanted in Arizona, but you may have done me a big favor.
Favor nothing. I'm saving myself a lot of work if it prevents a bank holdup.
Well, let's hope it does. You say they're using the name of Whiting?
Watch yourself, Wyatt. Roberts may have a gang just outside town.
Well, that's my hunch, too. I'd feel a lot better about it if Doc Holliday and Shotgun were here instead of in Tucson. Now, I'll see you later. Thank you.
Right, Wyatt.
Are you Marshal Wyatt or Mrs. Whiting, Mrs. Tom Whiting?
Well, Dr. Goodfellow described you pretty good.
Oh, he told you about the accident?
Yes, sir.
I thought you might want to see us.
Well, it's just routine. Dr. Goodfellow reports all gunshot wounds to me.
Oh, I see.
I don't like to disturb your husband, but I would like to ask him a few questions.
Well, he's sound asleep. Couldn't I answer them?
Well, I'm afraid not, Mrs. Whiting, but it's not too important. I'll stop by later.
No. We shouldn't ask you to make 2 trips. I'll go up with you if that's all right.
Certainly.
Certainly. Certainly. Certainly. Certainly. Certainly. Certainly. Certainly. Certainly. Certainly. Certainly. Certainly. Certainly. Certainly. Certainly. Certainly. Certainly. Certainly. Certainly. Certainly. Certainly. Certainly. Certainly. Certainly. Certainly. Certainly. Certainly. Certainly. Certainly. Certainly. Certainly. Certainly. Certainly. Certainly. Certainly. Certainly. Certainly. Certainly. Certainly. Certainly. Certainly. Certainly. Certainly. Certainly. Certainly. Certainly. Certainly. Certainly. Certainly. Certainly. Certainly. Certainly. Certainly. Certainly. Certainly. Certainly. Certainly. Certainly. Certainly. Certainly. Certainly. Certainly. Certainly. Certainly. Certainly. Certainly. Certainly. Certainly. Certainly. Certainly. Certainly. Certainly. Certainly Marshall. He just wants to ask you a few questions. This is my husband, Mr. Whiting.
Howdy, Mr. Roberts.
Roberts?
That's right.
No, Ben, don't.
Just throw it down there.
You're awful fast with that.
Now, take it easy, both of you. I want to talk to you, but I want to keep it friendly.
Friendly?
There's no warrant for you in Arizona, Mr. Roberts. Dr. Goodfellow says you need a lot of rest and medical attention.
You mean you're not going to bother us?
Just one question. Any of your gang hanging around Tombstone?
No.
That's the truth, Marshal.
All right. You stay here as long as you need to. Hope that leg of yours doesn't give you too much trouble.
You're a new kind of John Law, seems to me.
Mr. Roberts, I'm not interested in the scalp money. But if a Missouri sheriff or United States Marshal comes along with a warrant for you, I'd have to help serve it. In the meantime, rest easy. You play it on the level with me, and we'll get along fine.
Mr. Herb! Mr. Herb!
Yeah?
Mr. Herb, I just got a message for you from the Tombstone Bank. Mr. Kenton says there's a suspicious character hanging around.
Right. Excuse me, folks. Seems like we have a little bank trouble.
Jake Birch?
There's only one way to find out for sure.
Go right over there. That no-good thief. Just when we had everything fixed with the Marshal. Now he'll think we're lying to him. I better take a gun.
No. Just make sure it's Birch. There's easier ways to skin a cat.
Well, you better douse your bandage again. I'll be right back.
Excuse me, mister.
You calling me, Marshal?
Yeah, you're a stranger in town, aren't you?
That's right. There's no crime in that, is there?
Yeah, there might be. The bank doesn't like strangers hanging around its front door.
Oh, well, I'm sorry, Marshal. I'll be moving along.
Just a second. What's your name?
John Smith.
You have anything on you to prove that?
No, I don't believe I do.
Where's your horse?
Right over there. Would you like to see it?
Yes, Mr. Smith, I would like to see it. Buckshot duster. Mr. Smith, take off that bedroll.
Take it off yourself.
I said take off your bedroll. Put it on the ground, open it up. What's that?
What?
What are you doing with a detailed map of Tombstone? Afraid you get lost?
Yeah.
Mr. Smith, you've done nothing that I can hold you for. You seen anything of Ben Roberts lately?
Roberts. Ben Roberts. No, I'm afraid I don't know any Ben Roberts, Marshal.
You know, you surprised me.
Oh, why's that?
I didn't think Roberts would let a clumsy fool like you case a bank. I'm going to give a description of you to all my deputies. Next time you're seen in town, you're going to get hurt. And by next time, I mean any time after 5 minutes from now. Move.
the marshal had just ordered him out of town. I think we ought to turn Birch and his crowd in.
Show up their camp. Gotta be going too easy on Jake. I ordered him to stay out of Tombstone, remember? Now, we're going to encourage Jake to go against that bank.
And then tell her.
Yeah. Earp will blast them all to little pieces.
What if he doesn't believe us?
Make him believe us. That's your job. Now, honey, I'm quitting. As soon as I'm well, we'll go to California.
Oh, darling. Oh.
We can't have Birch cashing in on my name, calling himself and his cheap outfit the Roberts Gang. You see why Earp has to wind them up for us, don't you? And go convince him.
Marshal Earp.
Yes?
I'd like to talk to you, please.
Won't you come in?
I don't like jails.
Well, I can understand that. Why don't you sit down, then?
No, thanks. I followed you and saw that man in front of the bank.
Oh? You, couldn't by any chance identify him?
He's Jacob Birch. A cheap stagecoach bandit. The only time he's gone against a bank, he made a mess of things. Killed a lot of people. Jake's gonna rob one of your banks. Maybe tomorrow.
Which one? The, Arizona Bank or the Tombstone?
I don't know, but I'll find out.
And then you'll, tell me about it.
Yes, sometime tonight.
Why? Why would you tell me?
Because this isn't our idea. Ben's quitting the business. We're going to California as soon as he's well enough. Please, try to look at it our way. We don't want to get blamed for this. We'll never have a chance to make a life for ourselves with Jake Birch robbing banks and calling his crowd the Roberts Gang. Don't you believe me?
Well, Mrs. Roberts, it isn't too logical.
Look, what do we have to gain by telling you about Birch?
All right, let's leave it this way, then. You find out all you can about Mr. Birch's plan. I'll meet you at Dr. Goodfellow's office tonight.
Around 10 o'clock?
That'd be fine.
You still don't believe me. You better make up your mind to, because not believing me may cost a few lives. Maybe your own.
Oh, you're just talking to make noise, Jake. The truth is you're afraid to take that bank. I think maybe you're scared of Wyatt Earp.
That ain't the hitch, Joe.
Well, what is then?
Ben and Sadie Roberts.
Oh, now, Ben Roberts is laid up with a bad leg. And what do you figure Sadie can do?
She can use a gun. And so can Ben if he takes a notion to spoil our party. Oh, what do you say, boys? Think it's worth taking a risk?
Oh, it's just Sadie.
Hold him. We changed our mind, Jake. We want in on the bank job.
What bank job?
Don't play dumb with me. You cased the Tombstone Bank this morning. Ben was real sore when he heard about it. But then we got to thinking. Come into town on your own and you're in trouble. Use Ben's plan, and you'll get rich. What do you say, Jake?
Ben Roberts really knows how to take a bank.
All right, Sadie. You got something to offer, you're in.
For a fourth of what you take.
I say we deal.
All right.
Ben drew a diagram. Wrote it all down for you. I will use what Ben calls his covey a quail idea. You drift into town one by one just before daylight. You're there at 9 o'clock when the bank opens. Grab the money and scatter in the 6 different escape routes he put down here for you. Then you bunch up again at this camp. Divide the money, scatter again. Understand?
Wait. Why do we hit the Tombstone Bank?
Because Earp knows you cased it. He'll think you're bound to take the other one. The Arizona.
She's right, Jake.
Herb will be watching the other bank.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll smarten himself. All right, Sadie. We'll hit the Tombstone Bank 5 minutes after 9 in the morning.
Meet you here at noon for our share. Now, don't lose that. Any plan Ben thinks up is worth $5,000 cash before the vault doors even open.
So Earp will be watching the Arizona. Right around the corner from our mark. Boys, I'm making just one change in Ben's plan. Now, there'll be a crack shot on the roof of this building. Right here. We'll take care of Wyatt Earp before we hit the bank.
All the logic is against it. She and Ben just have to be the brains behind this whole thing. I'd be a fool to trust her. Wouldn't I?
Wouldn't you what?
Miss Sadie can't possibly be telling the truth.
Well, now, she might and she mightn't. If you want my advice, do what the cross-eyed tomcat did.
Oh, what's that?
Watch both rat holes. Divide your men between the Tombstone and the Arizona.
Yeah, well, that should be her.
Am I very late?
Oh, good evening, young lady.
Oh, hello, Dr. Goodfellow. Well, I went over the whole plan with Jake Birch, and he's going to hit the Tombstone Bank 5 after 9 in the morning.
Oh, why would he do that? He knows that I know that he cased that bank.
So he figures you'll think he'll be the other one. I had a hard ride to get this, and I'm tired, and if you don't believe me, just say so.
I'm sorry, Miss Sadie.
Look, I've done all I can for you. Go ahead. Let Jake make a fool of you.
Now, hold on. Put this on your husband's leg. Keep the bandage moist with it.
Thank you.
You're no fool, but you keep on trying, and she'll be right yet.
Meaning what?
I think she's telling the truth.
She can't be. I checked both banks today. The Arizona has twice as much cash on hand as the other. Besides, Ben Roberts is never one to settle for half when he can get the whole thing.
Well, you can watch both rat holes.
No, I can't. With Doc Holliday and Shotgun out of town, I haven't got enough deputies. If I split my force, I'm giving Birch too much of an edge. Now, you just stick to doctoring and let me handle the bank robbers, huh? It'll be the Arizona Bank.
Marshal.
Remember, Mr. Gale, you give them the money, no resistance. I don't want any dead heroes. We'll catch them as they come out. Your safe open?
Yes, but don't you think I ought to close it? Maybe they'll be satisfied with the teller's money.
I'll just make you open the safe. Now, you stick to the plan.
Well, just as you say.
Working fine. Earp's around the corner. Let's get at it. No shooting until Joe gets Earp. It's almost time now. Let's go inside and pretend we're going to deposit some of this money.
Check him out. Get in there. Get in there. I owe you an apology.
No, you don't, Mr. Earp. I'm thankful that it turned out the way it did. Was that Jake Birch?
Yeah.
Who got him, you?
No, I think it was your husband.
Oh, no. What? Why, Dr. Goodfellow gave him strict orders not to get out of bed.
Well, now, he can stay in bed and get well. You say for me that I'll be by to speak my thanks to both of you. I'll go ahead and say it. I picked the wrong bank.
Well, we can't be right all the time, any of us.
How bad is he?
Looks like it's mighty near the heart.
Can you save him?
If I can, I'm a great doctor. If I can't, he'll die. He can be right and get killed. He can be wrong and
get lucky. Well, let's see how we both come out.
Xin chào mọi người. Ở video trước mình đã hướng dẫn mọi người móc xong hàm móc thứ 6 của phần tai cáo. Và đến với video hôm nay mình sẽ tiếp tục hướng dẫn mọi người thực hiện tiếp những hàm móc tiếp theo nha. Tiếp theo mình sẽ móc hàm móc thứ 7. Trước tiên mình móc 3 mũi móc đơn. Sau đó móc 2 mũi nửa kép. Tiếp theo móc 2 mũi kép đơn. Tiếp theo móc 1 mũi kép đôi. Tiếp theo mình móc tiếp 2 mũi kép đơn. Sau đó 2 mũi nửa kép. Cuối cùng mình móc 3 mũi móc đơn. Sau khi móc xong thì mình móc mũi kết hàng. Sau đó cắt len. Như vậy là mình đã móc xong phần tai đầu tiên. Tiếp theo mình sẽ làm thêm một tai nữa. Mình cũng dùng len màu xanh và tạo một vòng tròn ma thuật. Sau đó mình móc vào vòng tròn ma thuật 6 mũi móc đơn. móc xong thì mình rút len. Sau đó móc mũi kết hàng. Tiếp theo lên hàng móc thứ hai. Trước tiên móc một mũi móc đơn, sau đó là một mũi móc tăng. Mình sẽ lặp lại công thức một đơn một tăng ở hàng móc này. Và chân mũi cuối cùng sẽ là một mũi móc tăng. Sau khi móc xong thì mình móc kết hàng. Tiếp theo lên hàng móc thứ ba. Trước tiên mình sẽ móc một mũi móc đơn, sau đó là một mũi móc tăng. Tiếp theo là hai mũi móc đơn, rồi một mũi móc tăng. Hàng móc này mình sẽ lặp lại công thức hai đơn một tăng. Và chân mũi cuối cùng của mình sẽ là một mũi móc đơn. Sau khi móc xong, mình móc mũi kết hàng. Tiếp theo lên hàng móc thứ tư. Trước tiên móc 3 mũi móc đơn. Sau đó móc một mũi móc tăng. Tiếp theo ở hàng móc thứ tư này mình sẽ lặp lại công thức là 3 đơn một tăng. Chân mũi cuối cùng của mình sẽ là một mũi móc tăng. Và như vậy là mình đã móc xong hàng móc thứ tư của phần tai rồi nha.